trust one another. We may not like one another. It's hard to hate up close. But when we truly communicate with each other, good things tend to happen, whether it be with a complex homicide, whether it be with intentionally set fire. Good prevails over evil, not the other way around. And we can't let that happen.
November 21st, 2016 is a day that lingers in the minds of many in Carroll County, especially Deputy Drew Yoder.
We got to go in and get him. That was me and Josh's first thinking.
Yoder and FLORA police officer Josh Dysinger were the first to arrive after a report of a fire at the East Columbia Street home. Yoder, who drove past the home frequently, saw Galen Rose outside and was familiar with her 4 daughters who were still trapped inside.
Those girls were always outside on a nice day, dancing around the Columbia Street Division Street sign. And the greatest thing was they would all stop, smile, and just wave as you pass by.
Yoder and Dysinger sprang to action.
With no hesitation, we both entered inside the residence 3 different times. There was little fear in my mind. The only thing that was going through it was that there were 4 little girls inside the residence that were needing our help.
Despite their efforts, the smoke and heat were just too much.
Dysinger and I never stopped trying. We went inside, came back out for air, went back in, came back out, each time getting farther and farther inside. The 3rd time is when things went bad.
Yoder was severely injured trying to save all 4 girls who died from smoke inhalation. After waking up in the hospital days later, he learned the tragic news.
When I was told the 4 little girls did not make it, my heart sank to my stomach.
While he mourned the girls' lives, he gained strength through all those who reached out to him during his recovery. That includes the man who saved his life.
FLORA Officer Josh Dysinger, thank you. You, my friend, are my hero.
Yoder returned to duty at the end of December, but says he returned a changed man.
I still think about it every day. My hands and stuff, they still remind me of it every day, but I just gotta push forward and do what I have to do.
And while Yoder's scars will fade with time, it's the emotional scars that remain.
This incident will forever impact my life, but it will not stop me from performing my duty.
Story tonight, investigators with the Indiana Department of Homeland Security are saying last year's house fire in FLORA that killed 4 young sisters was intentionally set. News 18's Karriele has the latest on the investigation.
Investigators are asking the public's help finding who is responsible for setting that fire. Neighbors are devastated to learn it was not an accident that took the young girls' lives.
It made me sick to my stomach to think about it.
That was FLORA resident Ernest Pitt's reaction the day he found out 4 sisters had died in a devastating house fire. Pitts lives near the home where the tragedy took place and says he and his family are close friends of the girl's mother, Galen Rose.
To even think about somebody doing this or even knowing, make me sick to my stomach.
FLORA Fire Assistant Chief Todd Trent says investigators do not know who started the fire. He says there are signs in every fire showing the way it burned through the home. In this case,
we were able to locate the area and determine that it had some issues.
According to IDHS, accelerants were found in multiple spots of the home. Trent says people are being interviewed for the case to help gather information.
You got 4 little girls gone. Money ain't gonna bring them back. Knowing that somebody could have done this, you know? That's what should shock everybody.
FLORA Fire Chief has resigned.
He is the 3rd person to now resign that has been involved in the investigation of a deadly fire that killed these 4 sisters. Adam Randall's resignation as fire chief comes almost a year after the girls' deaths. Adam's father, Dennis Randall, was the fire investigator with the State Department of Homeland Security. He has also quit his job this year. He resigned this summer after 13 Investigates uncovered emails questioning his handling of the case. And then just last week, the Carroll County prosecutor announced he's retiring at the end of the year for private, personal reasons. There have been allegations of a cover-up and of botched police work in this case. State police, though, have come out against those allegations and are still promising to get justice for the family.
The state's NAACP calling out law enforcement who are investigating that deadly FLORA fire from last year.
The fire killed 4 young girls. It has been ruled intentional. The president of the NAACP's state conference making strong statements today during opening statements of the NAACP convention. She says the family has been shut out of the investigation and now they want answers.
There are people out there who know, and it smells. Again, we just getting started, but it smells of a cover-up.
Well, I'm going to start by telling you all thank you for being here and giving me a chance. I've had the distinct pleasure of speaking with almost all of you at some point in my career. But I don't think anything's bothered me more than what's occurred in Carroll County, Indiana, in my entire lifetime. And even the notion that there would be even the perception of a cover-up in regards to an investigation involving 4 little girls is not only unsubstantiated, but, ladies and gentlemen, it strikes me at the very core of who I am and the agency that I represent. I'd give my life to find out who killed those little girls. And with specific comments made, such as no answers to the family, what happened, no one's been brought to justice. I hope that one day we can tell you what we know. And I hope one day I can look into the eyes of a person that killed 4 little girls and then explain to you what we knew and when. But criticize me all you want to. I'm not going to do it today, for a number of reasons that all of you know. I didn't create the sticky note today. The sticky note is of those 4 little girls, to include Abby and Libby, and Connie, and Karriele, and Keyara, and Keyana. Sticky note's been on my desk for months, close to a year now. And I have the exact same one at home. It's the last thing I see every single day. The Carroll County residents have endured something that very few of us will ever be able to comprehend or understand. It's the first time, at least in my career, that we've had a storefront that's housed an investigation for anything. It's housing 2 very critical investigations, probably 2 of the most critical investigations in Indiana likely in our history. We will stay in Delphi, as I told you many months ago, until I'm no longer the superintendent or not breathing, whichever. This is so very complicated, and even the inference that it's about race is so very wrong. It's never mattered to me, it never will. The notion that we will not do everything within our power, within right and left limits of what we can do legally, morally, and ethically, is just simply wrong.
In this case, the victims' ages range from 5 to 11 years old. And state police this morning are still hoping for a lead in this case that will break this case, a case that shocked a community and devastated a mother.
4 years later, say their names: Keyana, Keyara, Karriele, and Kionnie, the sisters killed in an arson fire on East Columbia Street in FLORA on November 21st, 2016. Another painful Thanksgiving with 4 empty seats. Galen Rose is the girl's mother.
I miss him like no other. It's been 4 years, y'all. I had a normal life before that night. And for it to just change dramatically, it confuses me. It hurts me. And I just have no understanding to it at all.
The girl's aunt, Jackie Partlow, still lives in FLORA. This remains an unsolved arson investigation. What do you want the public to know?
We're not going to give up. We're not going to let this case go cold. I won't sit back and allow those girls' deaths to be in vain.
State police say there are no new developments in the investigation. Superintendent Doug Carter says this is not a cold case.
Somebody out there knows, and whether the tips continue to come in, or if they don't, and once they stop, we start all over and we start building again.
5, 6, 7, 8.
The girl's mother is comforted by memories of her daughter's enthusiasm and creativity, which she believes would have served them well during this pandemic.
My girls would not agree with this disease at all. I can honestly say that they would have not agreed with the homeschool. They wouldn't have agreed with the computer work. They would be like, let me out, what is going on? We are not staying in this house.
4 sisters denied a future.
I want my babies here with me.
Victims of a crime that presently needs someone, anyone, to step up and speak out.
I encourage the partnership with the folks that are here in Indianapolis right now, with the NAACP. They have ideas, suggestions, things that we could do that we haven't, things we can do to additionally push this message, push the awareness of what happened in FLORA back in November of 2016. But what I wonder what's most wrong with society, it comes to mind that we just jump out in front of things that we don't understand, and we say things to draw something. And that's what I'm having a really hard time understanding. That's why I thought it was important that I came out to all of you today. Anytime we're talking about this case is a good day. So for that, I say thank you to the folks that brought this out today during the news conference that occurred earlier. I encourage the dialogue. I encourage their opinions. I encourage them perpetuating a model of awareness, because somebody out there knows who did that to those 4 little girls.
My name is Nicholas McClellan. I am the newly elected prosecutor here for Carroll County. I want to welcome and thank everybody for being here today. This is an important occasion that we want to meet and talk about. Before we get too far into what I want to talk about today, I want to remind everybody this is not the only open case that we have in Carroll County. We also have an open investigation for the FLORA fire that resulted in the death of the 4 little girls. So I just want to remind everybody, we're here today to talk about Abby and Libby, but that case is not forgotten either. That is still a very active investigation that we're looking into, and we're hopeful that that case will be solved in the near future as well. As I say, we're here today to talk about the Abby and Libby investigation and about just that investigation in general. I want to say that everyone appreciates you being here, and I'm thankful as well. As when I say everyone, I'm talking about Unified Command. That consists of local law enforcement, ISP, the FBI, and everyone else that's working diligently to try to solve this crime. I want to express all the hard work and dedication from all law enforcement officers that have been involved. The community has the promise from me and from my staff that my office will do everything possible to support the investigation. I know that I have the full dedication of all the agencies involved as well. The goal is the same for all of us. It's to bring the individual responsible for these actions to justice. As Mr. Riley stated, we're not going to discuss the specific aspects of the investigation today. I've directed all law enforcement to review all requests with me, all public requests, before a response is given. That is simply to protect the integrity of the case.
Some days I feel robbed as a mother, to be real honest with you. I feel like my motherhood more like robbed. I feel like my motherhood was robbed from me, from taking care of my children. So I just manage it the best way that I can.
A mother who is grieving, a mother who is demanding answers. This is the poster that remains on the